that we have the legal means to pull off a revolution in this country, and that means going all the way. I think that's guaranteed in our Declaration of Independence and in our Constitution. Our founding fathers went as far as they could go with the British law. For 25 years, they petitioned the king for their freedom. And it got to the point where petitions and law meant nothing because the law and petitions served only the king's tyranny. Today, we have gone through the courts for years, not 25 admittedly, but it seems like it. We've dragged through all the courts. We still don't have a right to speak. We still don't have a right to march. And it's going to get to the point someday where the law serves only this tyranny and power, which isn't British, it's Jewish. And soon as that tyranny becomes completely absolute, that's the time that we draw the sword of revolution. I don't care how many lives it takes, because what we're fighting for in all-white America justifies that. But I intend to stay by the law until that law is exhausted. I think we stand a good chance, as I said earlier, of beating this down in court because of the Supreme Court decision. If we don't, if we lose on the 8th, then we'll have to see what happens. I'm willing to go as far as possible with the law. Can you imagine if I made a statement to you gentlemen of the press, as Rabbi Kahane did, that if there was going to be a Jewish demonstration here, that I would promise violence and bloodshed? How long do you think I'd last here before I'd have a warrant out for my arrest? The man is even a complete American citizen. He has dual citizenship. He ran for the Knesset, the Jew parliament in Israel. And yet this man presumes to tell us, native-born Americans, how we should act, what the Constitution means to us. And yet I don't see any harassment of Rabbi Kahane. I don't see any warrants out for his arrest. And the Skokie authorities, the Gentile authorities there, the mayor, says that he's not going to do anything to prevent JDL or Rabbi Kahane's counter-demonstrations, which are admittedly violent. If that doesn't show clearly what side the law is on, where the tyranny really is, and who is that tyranny, there's nothing more I can say about it.
Mr. Collins, I don't understand.
There's no right to demonstrate, and we're going to do it.
What's the sense of going through the judicial system if you're going to disregard?
Because then the judicial system has proven itself defunct if it doesn't allow a group of Americans. There's going to be less than 100 men at that time, maybe more now, I don't know, but I'd say around 100. The Jews out there promised thousands to oppose us. If we were just the insignificant little group that you gentlemen of the news media have been saying we are, there were only 5 or 6 of us, then why all the hoopla? Why all the excitement over a few men that just want to exercise their constitutional rights? Nobody's telling the Jews they have to come out. They say they have tremendous emotional response if they'd see us. What about television? It's loaded with anti-Nazi propaganda every day. Do they emote every time they see that? In effect, the Jews are saying that they can't help themselves, that they have to come out and emote violently. That, to me, is a definition of insanity. And if they can't control themselves, that's their problem, not mine.
So you're saying if you can't do it illegally?
I think that we stand an excellent chance of doing it legally. I think by all means we will do it legally. I think that we stand an excellent chance. But there's going to come a time, perhaps, I hope not, in which the law no longer serves our constitutional demand. We're not asking for the moon. We're not asking for anything unusual. Just the right.
How do you feel about it being here?
All right, let me say it this way. They have the right to say what they want and to assemble and so forth. But that does not mean that the majority of people in Marquette Park are for them. Many of these people, this is strictly Lithuanian, have been victimized in the Second World War. But then you take a lot of the old-timers, they don't have real leadership. Well, they do in some areas. Therefore, they're frightened. They don't know better. But I think a lot of publicity, like I could go way out as far as Missouri, and people would say, you live in Marquette Park. Aren't you afraid to go outside of your house? It's not like that at all. I'm only 2 blocks from the periphery, and my neighborhood's holding, and the main gripe I have is that these panic peddlers, these realtors that don't give you the value for your money. People would stay if they were guaranteed a fair shake for their home.
Bother you that this headquarters is here?
It bothered me today when I saw that flag. I said to myself, wouldn't it be nice if a big American flag was there? Right? Come on, Carly, wait. Wait a minute. What station are you affiliated with? What is that, 5 or 9? 7. What time? I'll look for you.
Tomorrow, 5:30 or 6 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
You're aware, of course, of the plans of the National Socialist Party of America to try and find a way around your ordinances. How does that affect you? What do you plan to do in countering to that?
Well, we see two ways in which it's possible for them to do that. One would be to violate our ordinances by coming to Skokie, not attempting to comply with our ordinances, in which case they would, if they were in violation in our community, they would be arrested. The other way, presumably, would be to file some type of court action, such as declaratory judgment, in which they challenge the validity of the ordinances prior to violating them.
They think they can get the ordinances declared unconstitutional. What's your feeling on that?
We're comfortable with the ordinances, and we feel that they're valid. The permit ordinance, which has the $350,000 insurance provision, is similar to that which was enacted recently by the Chicago Park District. That is presently being litigated in the U.S. District Court here for the Northern District of Illinois, and so far it has been upheld. The other two ordinances which Skokie enacted are, the first of these would prohibit the dissemination of hate material based upon race or religion, and the last of the ordinances would prohibit political parties from marching in military-style uniforms, which would prohibit the swastika armband and the SS Stormtrooper uniform.
Well, from the face of it, all three.
Swastika and Stormtrooper uniform stand for genocide, annihilation of people, Jews as well as non-Jews, based upon religion and race. And we think that that falls outside permissible free speech as we understand the Constitution.
And you'll stick by the constitutionality of it?
Yes, we will.
As far as the march into Skokie is concerned, we had hoped to obtain a temporary restraining order by this time in order to suspend the tyrannical injunction and ordinances passed by the Jews of Skokie to prevent white free speech.
This building attacking violently, that have been showing their real faces around this country here lately. We're law-abiding. We.
So,
Doesn't make any difference.
how the news will say, Collins Party.
This is it. I'll say this is all. I want to be able to have some signs. If you can make some kind of
Almost impossible.
Wow, that's a lot to do. Why is that?
That's it.
Why don't you gear it down a little bit? Faster does more change for the state. I don't know. I suppose the more is better. As soon as I get some time, then I get some time together. Frank Collin of the National Socialist Party of America. This is Alan Vincent of the National Socialist White Workers Party. Michael Breda of the National Socialist White Workers Party, Dallas, Texas. Mr. Vincent's from San Francisco, California. Mr. Gerhard Lauk, the NSDA PAO Overseas Organization, Germany and Nebraska. TRO has not yet come in, and at this moment we have no intention of demonstrating in Skokie on July 4th, because our number one objective is to strike those ordinances. To have a demonstration at this time in violation of the injunction while it is still yet to be heard on the 8th of July would kill all of our chances of overturning those ordinances. So we will wait and see what the courts say on the 8th of July. We are very hopeful that a decision will be granted in our favor because of the recent Supreme Court decision. And immediately after that favorable decision, we are going to go into Skokie about 2 weeks beyond the 8th of July. So hopefully the middle or end of July sometime we'll announce a specific date for that time. I also hope that representatives of the National Socialist Congress who are meeting here in Chicago on the 4th of July weekend will participate with us at that time. I'm going to make a proposal to the Congress at our closed-door session after 3 o'clock and respectfully request them to attend that demonstration in Skokie whenever it is. The main reason that I wanted to have a demonstration on the 4th was because we had these comrades from out of state, and it would be a real united show of force. Also, because on the 4th of July, we celebrate the American cause of freedom, and that is precisely what we National Socialists are fighting for, white freedom, the freedom for white people, National Socialists, to speak out for white America when speaking out for it is most difficult, but most necessary. As many of you may know, at 10:30 this morning, we were demonstrated against in front of our headquarters by a loose coalition of leftists, I believe, about 100 to 150 Reds. The police allowed them to demonstrate even though there had been violence. Some of our officers, especially from Cleveland, the representative of the United White People's Party, is not here because he's in the hospital, as also my unit leader from St. Louis, Michael Allen, and a number of other stormtroopers and party members who fought the Reds. There were no arrests, as far as we know. Even though there was violence, the police allowed the demonstration to take place as long as they preferred. They sent out droves of police to protect the Reds after the fight. I don't know if any of the enemy were hospitalized or what the situation was. The police intervened immediately, which is interesting because whenever we have a demonstration, and you people in the news media cover it, and it is violent because we are attacked and defend ourselves, the police always break up our demonstrations because of the heckler's veto that we go through when someone attacks us. Here, we have a counter-demonstration, there's a fight, and the police don't stop them. They prevent us in our own neighborhood. The same police, the same authorities who will not allow white power marches through Marquette Park on this very street allow communists, Jews, and niggers to demonstrate right down our same streets. The best thing about it was that the masses of people by the thousands came out to do a number on these Reds, but because of the large profusion of police, and we are not going to bow to the Jews' whim of having white men fight white men again, there was no additional violence. But I can promise this, that come hell or high water, Supreme Court or no Supreme Court, arrest or no arrest, violence or no violence, Rabbi Kahane or no Rabbi Kahane, we are going into Skokie by God this year, and we don't care how much violence they want to bring on our heads. We'll give it back to them 3 times as much. This counter-demonstration today has stiffened our resolve to get into Skokie by hook or crook. We'll follow the course legally as far as we can go, but we are going definitely. That I promise you, especially after today. This press conference is open until 3 o'clock. You may ask questions of either myself. These gentlemen would like to make a statement after I'm finished.
National Socialist Chicago comrades and other comrades from around the country, today is an especially happy day for me and there are other in front of this